Hey there, Tim here, and today's video is going to be about the old American clocks that have a count wheel for their striking mechanism and what you can do if the time says one thing and the chimes, the strike, is striking something different. So I've got an Ingram American clock movement. It's on my test stand here, so you can kind of see both trains. The one on the left here is the one that we'll be concerned with because it has the count wheel. So what's happened here is the clock is run down and I've wound it up here, and so the time says 10:30 and the count wheel is like around 4 o'clock or so. So let's point this out again, where on the right side of the movement, this is the time train, so that controls the time. And then on the left side here is the strike train, yep, and that controls all of the striking mechanism. And of course, that's the count wheel right there. So what we're going to do first off is I'm going to go ahead and move the hands up to the top of the hour, and we'll see how many times the count wheel goes and strikes the clock. So we can see it move there on the left. That's 1, 2, and 3. So that's obviously it's off quite a bit. And we're going to run it around one more time here to the 12 o'clock position, and I'll show you how this hammer moves down here to be striking the gong if it was inside the clock. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and now it's stopped over on the count wheel. So it's 4 hours off basically. Now if you'd like, you can run it around one more time and just make sure it's consistently off by the same number of hours. In this case it would be 4. Sometimes these lifts can get stuck and it'll just keep chiming, and then you have a different problem altogether. But as we can see, it's stopping after 5, and so it's off by 4 hours. So the thing about these hands on these clocks is that the hour hand is friction fit and the minute hand is usually fastened by a pin or a screw. And in this case, it's just a pin, which you can see right here. So you can always take that off if you want and get to the hour hand, but since it's just friction fit on there, it's actually kind of easy to just carefully move it with your fingers like this. And we're going to move it down to 5 o'clock, which is where it chimed last. And it's as simple as that. And now they should be in sync. Some clocks have a little wire over here, and you can see this one does. It is fastened to the lift right here through a little loop that's in that lift, and so this makes it really easy to adjust the clock because all you have to do is lift the lift up like this, and now it actually is going to chime for us. So now it's actually out of sync again, right? Because it's on number 6. It's chimed 6 times. So we can go back and fix the hands if we want, but to illustrate this, I'm going to go ahead and move this to 7. Okay, so let's suppose that your clock is saying 7 but it chimes 6. Well, now you can just lift this little wire over here and it'll just chime 7 and you can get it back in sync that way. Not every clock has this, but if it does, it's very handy. Now we're going to use an example here with a clock that has its movement put back in. This one ran down, and so now it's out of sync, so I went ahead and wound it up, and I'm going to go ahead and run this to 12. It's kind of a quiet clock. I'm sorry you can't hear it chime better, but it is chiming 10, and the hands say 12, so obviously this is out of sync. So what I like to do is go ahead and run it around one more hour and make sure that it is consistently out of sync. And so if I do that, it turns out it strikes 11 times. So it's 2 hours off. So I can simply just move the hour hand back to 11, and it should be in sync. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually push the minute hand forward just a little bit so that I can get it out of the way, and then push the hour hand back. Hour hand, of course, is friction fit, so I'll just push it back on there, make sure it's tight. Looks pretty good. And so now what I'll do is run it back around to 12 and see if we are in sync. I like to make sure that the hands are exactly straight up and down at 12 o'clock. And so, again, I know it's hard to hear the chimes, and I apologize, but it is back in sync now at 12 o'clock. And so now what I like to do is, since it's about 17 minutes till 1, as I'm recording this video for you, I'm going to go ahead and set it to the right time, and we're all ready to go. Hope you enjoyed the video.